And now, Freelance Heroism presents Dragon Heist.
Welcome to Freelance Heroism. My name is Dees.
And I'm Rachel.
And before we even get started, I just want to take a second to give a big shout out and thank you to everyone who donates at the Patreon producer tier. Rachel,
Yes.
would you like to let us know who they are?
I would love to. So we want to say thank you to Rebecca, Voxu Astora, Nate, Breakmeister, Orient_Tiger, Chris Deeds, Chris Stones, and Christopher Hildebrand. Thank you so much, you guys.
We really appreciate it. You help us make a better show for everyone.
Mhm.
By the way, I don't know, you don't have to leave the other ones in,
Uh-huh.
but I screwed this up so many times in a row. That was embarrassing. Thank you guys for donating, because it helps us record 9 takes of something very simple that I do every week. So this might be a perfect transition, because that took a lot of time, and we were talking about managing time.
Yes.
Rachel,
Uh-huh.
how do you manage your time?
Sometimes not very well.
Yeah.
I have a few hobbies that I like to do, but when I engage in them, I like to. I don't know how else to phrase it.
When I begin my human protocol of engaging in activities,
I like to devote like a huge chunk of time to them. So if I read a book, then I want to spend the next 3 hours reading my book. If I paint some minis, I set up my laptop with like YouTube videos or podcasts, and I have several minis. I don't just do one at a time. I'll have like a little line of
you
like
have a cycle.
Yeah, of like maybe
so
half a dozen that I go through.
The one on the left's drying.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I know that I don't have, like, if I know I only have like an hour to do something, then it can be hard for me to want to actually paint something, because I'm like, oh, well, I have to set everything up and.
Yeah, it's not worth the effort.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I don't know, which it's fun to like do a hobby for like a big chunk of time, but also at the same time, it can really screw up your time management if you also need to like clean the house or run errands or something like that.
Right. So like, I mean, we were talking about earlier. I was saying I was looking into getting some coding software to make a game. And I literally went down the rabbit hole of like looking up problems that don't exist yet. Like, do I store my maps in volatile memory? Do you know what I mean? Do I store it so that way they're easily, like, it'll reduce load screens in between internal maps?
Uh-huh.
So like if you go into a building and then you exit the building, it won't take very long, as opposed to having to load the whole map up. And I was answering those problems with like, I was like researching them and stuff, and I'm like, I don't even have the software yet. Also, there's no fucking way I'm gonna have time to make a game. Who the fuck am I kidding?
I'm not sure, because you have a lot already that you do with.
I cannot for the life of me figure out what the fuck I was huffing that would make me think not only would I take on another gig, right, but I'm gonna take one on that's so complex that I've never done before. What the hell was I thinking? So like, that's where my time management is. Where I'm trying to sabotage myself. Apparently. I was like, hey, it'd be great to bicycle around the United States. Like, what the fuck? No.
I mean, there are, I guess if you sort of devoted maybe like half an hour or something every day to working on this game idea, then after a few years, you would have something. There are definitely like,
absolutely not 30 minutes a day for a few years.
I mean, there are books that I've read, and it's like the author, was like, there was this one book I read where the author was working in like a hospital as like an orderly, and basically like on his breaks and when he would get home, he would spend like maybe half an hour working on this book, and it took years, but he was finally able to publish it.
Never happened.
But
Never happened for me.
It sound like the way that you were describing, how into making this game you were. It's sort of one of those projects where it's like I need to devote every waking second I have to working on this because I'm filled with creative energy and I need to funnel it all into this game immediately.
I have people that ask me all the time. They're like, "Why don't you do a book?" And I'm like, "Could you shut up? You don't know. Why don't you do a book?" Right? And some of my friends who have done books, right, or in the process of doing it, they're like, "Why don't you do books?" I'm like, "When's the last time you had a commission?" They're like, "I don't know, 6 months ago." I'm like, "Yeah, shut up." Shut up. I'm like, "Ugh. Good God." I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know how people. Well, I mean, I guess I do. They don't do the other thing. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We were doing that stream. We're streaming thing now.
Yes.
We are streaming thing now. That's my sentence. That's how I'm talking now.
Okay.
We started Crit Ribbit, which is a joke about the Crit Frog from our FH games. And so like we stream all kinds of stuff, and it's just a good way to make more content that doesn't need to be edited. It doesn't need a whole lot of polish or anything. We can just kind of put it out. People can join us. It's like a way to reach out and get with the fans. Mm-hmm. Also, if you like to watch that kind of stuff, then hop on Twitch. Follow us on Crit Ribbit. You should do that.
Yes.
We need 11 more people to get affiliate status. You could be one of those 11.
And there will be a link to the Twitch channel that you guys have in the show notes.
Rachel joined us yesterday.
I did. We played some Borderlands 3 together.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Rachel liked it as well.
I did.
She says, I was nervous. I'm like, we have how many 5 years of podcast episodes out now? You were nervous?
It's different when you're like playing live.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why?
Because when I edit, I can selectively pick what people hear.
Right. Okay.
And I can't do that if we're playing live.
Oh no. I think it came out great.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. But yeah, so if you're into that stuff, if you like the freelance stuff we do, if you like the freelance gaming videos and whatnot, go check us out on the streaming channel. But back to the original point, that because that was a new project and requires quite a bit of time.
Yeah.
So it's like streaming a comic, uploading the podcast, doing all the social media, freaking commissions. It's like, and then the stream thing on top of that, and then I'm like, you know what'd be fun? Rebuilding the office and developing a video game. Maybe I could invent a language. That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just what the hell was I thinking? I don't know.
But I think everybody gets, these sort of creative bursts of like, hey, there's this project I really want to do.
Yeah.
I need to devote my life to it. But some people, like when your time is already filled with your commissions and streaming and the podcast and recording intros.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, maybe you can channel your game energy idea into something.
No, I don't think I'm gonna.
Else.
I'm just gonna pretend I never had that idea.
Oh, okay. All right.
It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no way. I think about all that kind of stuff. Like people who learn how to work on cars, right? This is the thing I think about all the time. People who are like, they rebuild their engines and upgrade parts and stuff. I could do that. I know I could. It's even in my personality to want to do that. But at this point, electric cars are happening, and if I learn combustion engines from the ground up so that I can work on my car, and then that knowledge is immediately gone because it's replaced with electric cars. I'm going to lose my fucking mind. I will have just learned all there is to know about this thing, and then I'll learn electric cars after the fact. Once they're popular, I'll learn those, and we'll just call it a scratch.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It'd be like learning how to build a wagon now. What's the point?
Well, I'm sure some people need wagons.
It's like going to college for horse repair. You can repair horses, right? Actually, I don't think you can. I think that they shoot them.
Oh no.
It's like, oh, my horse stubbed his toe. Get the shotgun. It's like, are you fucking serious? Your only out is if you can talk like that, Mr. Ed. Yeah, I think this feels like an intro. How long have we been talking?
About 10 minutes. So
Right
do you
on.
wanna go to
Do
the
you want to
episode?
calculate for removing the goose?
I did.
Okay. Good.
It's actually been 12 minutes, but I'm
Wow.
assuming a couple minutes haven't.
Goose removal will kill
They're
your
gonna
time.
be
People aren't gonna know what the hell you're talking about. Can you use the goose thing at the end and then that will make sense?
Okay.
I don't want to tell you what to do. Sorry. Just you'll figure it out. You know what you're doing.
No, there'll be if you listen to the end of the podcast, you'll find out what we're talking about when we say goose removal.
Right. And it'll totally be a letdown. It's really not as exciting as it sounds. Fucking geese. Okie doke. Well,
All
what
right.
episode is this?
This is Dragon Heist, episode 17.
Ooh.
It's like
we're getting deep into the DH.
we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like cooking a fish.
Damn geese, it's like cooking a fish. There you go. T-shirts coming soon. Awesome. Now let's talk about tostadas for a long time.
Get your clap ready.
All right, you ready, D-Walk?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's DMify.
Let's do this. Welcome to Waterdeep, the city of splendor.
Oh no.
They don't have sugar here, only Splendor.
I'm your host, Dr. Midnight. I am with you from 9 to 5. All right, 9. Oh, but- So, we pick up where we left off. You all get an arrest that night. And next morning meeting to go to the prison to see Krentz. Do you guys want to pick up where you guys are all at your houses? Or you guys want to pick up on the way to the prison?
Let's do the house.
Alrighty. So we're going to start with you. The Raven in
Rolling
Trollskull
potions.
Manor. Roll your potions.
33.
Alright.
Is
Next.
it good?
Yes.
66.
Okay.
98.
Holy shit. Hold on. Alright.
9.
Fail. Alright, you're out.
Okay. For anyone that doesn't know, I'm rolling for bonus potions. I already got a default.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I think you were making D-Walk sweat there just a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It's like 98. Fuck. That's the potion that ends the game.
Yeah, all we need to do is roll freaking 100 and twice, and then a nat 20, we're fucking done. I quit.
It's the
Dragons
D&D. Yeah.
Yeah. The dragon's been summoned. All 7 balls are together.
It's the D&D equivalent of the Konami code.
Oh, shit. I haven't seen that many 20s since I shaved the dice. All right. So, what are you doing? Well, we know it's dark and early when Raven wakes up and just brewing potions.
Yep.
So,
Well, while I'm brewing potions, I'm going to have a conversation with the ghost
all right.
and just try to make friends.
Alrighty.
Like, what did you used to do here? And then I'm going to glance periodically up at the wall.
After a little bit,
Tell me, Ghost House. Tell me about what you used to do here.
it writes
See? Voices on deck. Rachel,
it writes caretaker across in chalk.
what'd you take care of? Just the building?
Yes.
So you're like a butler?
It picks up one of your bottles and it pours it into a glass and sets the bottle back down.
Like a sommelier?
It writes barkeep.
Oh, okay. Interesting. You can pick things up and move them around, correct?
It moves the seat behind you to sit.
Excellent. You ever think about working as a surgeon's assistant?
No.
What, don't like blood?
Yes.
Not to, point this out, but you're dead, right? So, like, you think you'd be acquainted with this, the concept of, dead blood. And bones.
Erases the letters and rewrites the new phrase. I have no blood.
Right. But it didn't just disappear. It existed.
Didn't like it then. Don't like it now.
Okay. Blood type. Oh, no. Okay. Well, this is fun. I'm going to pack up my potions. Then I'm going to walk through the house and be like, hey, time to go. Clank the shield.
At what time is he doing this?
Oh, the sun's not even up yet.
Oh, no, wait. I'm going to give them a little time. So, what, like 7?
I'm at home.
She's in Princess Kingdom.
Yeah. I see that Mr. Kavir is feeling magnanimous this morning, letting us sleep until the sun's just peeking above the horizon rather than below it.
You see the drapes closed blocking the sun in your room?
Thank you. Yeah, I had talked to the sergeant.
Yes, Sergeant Anders.
Sergeant Anders, and we had, I thought, set it up to meet at like close to noon.
Yes.
11. Yeah, it was 11 o'clock. So the fact that I'm being woken up by someone banging on a shield at 7 a.m. does not compute.
Yeah, I know you congressional types don't have to go to work, but the rest of us still have to get up and do things. In particular, go pick up our Princess Kingdomette. And then I would like to think that we'd probably grab a breakfast or something. And then who knows what could halt us on our way through town with all the chaos. It's better to be early and prepared than, sleepy and useless.
I take affront to that.
Good. It was intended to front you.
Fine. All right. We'll go ahead. We'll get up. We'll go get Miss Adri. And we will get ourselves some breakfast and some coffee. And then we will go see Sergeant Anders. That sounds like a fine plan to me. How have things been going down on the first floor?
Are you talking to me or the ghost?
Well, I assume... Yeah, I assume I'm talking to the ghost.
How's it going to communicate back?
Well, I would imagine at this point I've made my own chalk wall on the second floor. Yeah.
All right.
I'm not gonna
It just says he's talkative.
Well, so is it pleasant talk or is it standard Kavir talk?
He's consumed by blood.
Is that a literal phrase or a figurative one?
I think that's a Lichgate album.
Yeah, the actual title's I think he's consumed by
Consumed
blood.
by blood.
Yes. They had Renazir fill out the form.
Oh, he's talkative this morning. Fine. All right. Maybe the more he talks to you, maybe the more his bedside manner will improve.
All you see is letters. Ha ha.
Oh, good. It goes with the sense of humor. All right, you're going to work out just fine. So, I'll get up. I will get dressed. I mean, I would say that from the night before, I'm at least starting to move in a few things. I at least brought clothing and some of my personal effects. The furniture will arrive in a couple of days. But I can at least make myself presentable. And so that is what I will do. And then once I am done, I will make my way down to the bottom floor.
All right. There's a knock at the front door.
Come in.
I'm here, Doctor. Your
Excellent.
apprentice is shown.
I'm going to run up to the door and look out. Do I see the sun?
Yes, it's peaking.
just barely get inside. And then when she goes in, I'm gonna look around like down the street and then slam the door aggressively. So it looks like a creepy, like Doc Brown style madness person. So I'm going to point the girl towards the shelving that I have off on the side wall where all the bottles are.
All right.
Like those need to be sterilized. You know how to sterilize something?
Heat up hot water till it's boiling and wash in hot water.
Yes. Submerge.
Right.
First, you wash it like normal. Get the dust off.
Right, and then you rinse it once in a cold bath, and you rinse it in a hot bath.
Exactly. Perfect. And then once it's done, it needs to go on top of these, and I'm gonna put out this little cloth. Say you put these on the shelf, then put those on top of the cloth.
Did you steal these from Adri's bag?
I did not.
Okay.
By the way,
Wrong
how
game.
do you know who that is?
That didn't happen. Not canon. Not canon. This is Rachel's voice. Look at my voice work.
Oh my God, because you have no picture up, I can't tell the difference.
I'm Rachel. Ah!
Just like me.
Damage!
I want to talk about books. Books and rock and roll music.
I do want to talk about books.
And liches!
I'm going to a concert for the Wiggles.
The Wiggles?
Sorry. Okay, sorry.
Oh,
I'm a huge fan of the Wiggles.
go ahead, get it all out.
Sorry. Okay.
Oh God.
Okay.
I got tears.
No, the punk rock and death metal version of the Wiggles is the writhing. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
So once I give all the instructions to her, I'm going to explain to her that we're going out. We're going to be gone for a little bit. If anyone comes in here and is injured, you need to triage. Do you know how to triage? You have to decide how hurt they are.
Okay.
Okay. Someone comes in. They have a big slash across their arm. What do you do?
Compress until the blood stops and then stitch it together.
You have to disinfect it first.
Where's the alcohol?
I'm going to reach in my bag and I'm going to pull out like some really fortified wine. You boil this. Yeah?
Okay.
Then you pour some salt on it, and I'm going to put a big thing of salt. Right?
Ouch. Mm-hmm.
Then you heat it against a piece of metal. You press that metal against the wound, then you stitch it up.
Do I stitch it up with the metal in the wound or no?
No, what? No.
Okay.
You sear it. You want it to, it's like boiling it.
Okay.
You boil the wine, pour it in the wound, salt, heat. It's like cooking a fish.
It's like trying to get your steak medium rare.
Got it.
You want to
Medium,
get a
not
good
bloody
sear.
rare.
Yeah, I want to get a sear.
All right.
And you put it in the oven and finish it off.
If it's something
Understood.
else, if someone's throwing up or they seem sick, then you lay them over on one of these tables. You give them some liquids, and then you send someone to come find me.
Understood.
If it's something very serious, like a decapitated limb, send someone to come find me.
Understood.
I don't imagine that would be an issue for now. Also, and I'm gonna yell for the ghost butler.
You see this just line of chalk begin to go across the wall.
Right, ghost butler. This is my nurse. She's practicing to become a doctor. She's going to be here. Be nice to her, please.
It writes okay.
And don't you freak out the ghost. Don't you be all weird about the ghost.
I'm getting better.
Okay. And get on those bottles.
Right away. She begins fetching water to begin to boil so she can start washing.
I'm going to bang on my shield again. What the fuck is taking this pretty boy so long?
Oh, I've just about approached the door as he does that. For starters, you'd probably get a lot more cooperation out of him if you'd stop referring to him as Ghost Butler and just call him by his name.
We don't know his name.
His name is L. We know that much.
Well, Ghost Butler has an L in it.
So does asshole.
That's true. You want me to call him asshole?
Never mind.
What took you so long? I'm going to look him up and down. It's like, do you have to try to get pretty? Take a lot of work?
No, I am a representative. I have to have a certain look. It's not about being pretty. It's about being a dignitary. I have to look officious as opposed to... It doesn't matter. Look, I'm up. I'm here. If we're going to go get Miss Adri so we can go see the sergeant and get some information out of Mr. Kresk, I think we ought to go ahead and get started now since you've got your nurse set up here and no time like the present, I suppose.
Right. All right. Well, then we're leaving. Nurse, Ghost Butler?
L.
Ghost Butler?
Y'all take care of one another. We'll be back soon, all right?
I'm gonna walk into the middle of the street and be like, we need a buggy. We need a cart.
Then flag one down.
I am. This is how I flag them down. Stand in the middle of the street and I yell for one.
I just I whistle and then I put my hand up.
Soon enough, a buggy pulls up.
Does it look like it was responding to one of our particular methods before the other? Which of our methods would you say?
He kind of looks
man in full plate mail in the middle of the street, or not full plate, I guess. But...
You got some weird looks when you yelled and was hollering, and you didn't hear the buggy sounds until after the whistle came.
Yeah, but I had loosened it for you.
It's okay, brother. You've always loosened it for him.
Well, thank you for getting that pickle jar lid off for me, Mr. Kavir.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you could quit eating the pickle quite like that.
Yeah.
No hands.
So we're
How do you
use your
have no
imagination to
hands?
make the punchline.
Oh.
How dirty are your thoughts?
Cause an accident
Yeah. So Kresk is being held where?
in the guards in the dock district in one of their
Okay.
mountain.
Okay. Then that is the directive I will give to our driver.
All right. So you guys are gonna skip Adrian and just go there?
Adri first.
Oh yeah,
Princess
Adri
Kingdom.
first, and then that. Yes.
I'm gonna look at the driver and be like, to Princess Kingdom, please.
He stops. What?
Jeez, like nobody, like for a fancy part of town, no one knows this place.
Princess Kingdom.
Kingdom.
It's. He looks over at Jerche. Is that a new men's club downtown I don't know about?
No, not even close. Take us to the castle ward.
All right.
I'd like to take a ride down to the Princess Kingdom. That's what you sound like to me. I'm going to barbecue some gator snout and
That's right.
make myself a wallet out of.
I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna make myself a nice big pot of gumbo. Get some chicory in my coffee. I'm gonna sit out on the porch with the mint julep and tell passersby to fuck off all day.
And lie about the amount of horse meat in my chili.
Welcome to Castle War. Get your shit and get out.
Now the question is: do I say that there's more horse meat in my chili than there is,
There's
or
80%
less?
horse meat in this chili.
Don't ask about the other percent. So
Lips
you
and
guys make
assholes.
You guys are
80%
outside
live
of
horses.
You know it's good chili because it whinnies when it's done.
It's all about the kick, you know? Want your chili to have a living kick.
Oh, the hooves break down into gelatin, and it gives it a. Well, all right, there we go.
Right.
I found. Yeah.
It gives it a nice wiggle, right, Rachel?
Yeah. Here, I'll go ahead and
Gross.
I'll manually just increase the edit this out counter to 2 because we know that's going. Just do that myself. Okay, so we're in the castle ward.
Yep, you guys are on the way to Castle Ward. Now, is Adrian going to sleep until she's awoken this morning? Actually, no, she doesn't sleep. So,
Sleep.
what is Adrian doing this morning?
So after I've done my 4-hour meditation,
Tell us more about how elves sleep, Rachel.
they don't.
I think she's mentioned that in every game that we've ever played.
Yep.
Because I don't sleep.
I don't sleep. Thank you.
I'm not a human,
No.
she says.
Since I'm so awesome and don't require
Mhm.
the confines of sleepery,
Exactly.
I'm able to stay awake and not be as smart as everyone else. I
After
love
get
what.
my
Oh, sorry.
after I get my rest, I'm probably just gonna work on some tinkering stuff because I kind of assumed that, like, according to my notes, we were all gonna meet there at 11. So in Adri's mind, she's just hanging out at home until it's time for her to go meet up with everyone at wherever that dude's being held.
Convict Castle.
So
It's
Adri's
like
just
Princess Castle, just yeah.
So Adri's just like having a leisurely morning of like drinking some coffee, looking over her notes from the other night.
Online shopping.
Online shopping. She's in like she's in the eastern wing, like having breakfast out on the balcony there.
I like to imagine her house is shaped like a duck, and the eastern wing is actually an eastern wing.
The Eastern Wing.
You mean Quackington Manor?
I'm gonna go ahead and take my breakfast out on the veranda this morning.
So you guys pull up in the wagon as she's out on the eastern wing balcony enjoying her breakfast.
Yeah.
Did they repair the window?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna throw a rock at that window.
Mr.
All right.
Commish, she's sitting right there. If you were going to throw it, you should have thrown it at that massive target she's giving you up there.
Oh, I
not
didn't
the
notice.
window.
I'm gonna throw a rock at her then. After.
Don't throw a
All right.
rocket.
All right, so D20 to break the window. That's going to be 18 to the window.
All right. Jeez, the dude almost just asked you for your portent rolls.
Oh man, 19. Or no,
All right.
20. 20 to hit Ray
Don't throw a rock at me.
total.
So you broke the window, and then as you launched the rock, it soars through the air with the greatest of ease. And
It's a little rock. It's not like a big.
Don't throw a rock at me.
I already did. The
Okay.
rolls already happened.
All right. Well, then I'm not going anywhere with you guys.
I didn't throw it at you.
You just said you threw a rock at me.
It's in your direction.
And I said, don't throw a rock at me. You said, I already threw a rock at you.
I already rolled. What do you want me to do?
So you
Undo it?
did. You admit that you threw a rock at me.
In your direction.
You didn't say in my direction. You said
It
at
was a
me.
warning rock.
That's.
By the way, I
No.
want to bring it up that Nate was the one who said I should have thrown the rock at you.
Yes, I screwed up and instigated it.
Why
The
am I
old
being
man
blamed?
fucked up.
I threw a rock at the window, hit the target, just like I had planned. He
Uh-huh.
said, you should have thrown a rock at her to get
Uh-huh.
her attention. And I was like, oh my God, you're absolutely right. What was I thinking? And so I did. And now you're mad at me.
You threw a rock at me.
He was the one that pitched the idea.
Did he make you do it?
Oh, he didn't make me do it, but he
Okay,
didn't
so
stop
you
me
did
either.
it of your own accord.
My own volition, yes.
Yeah. So
I mean, not in like a she's a witch way. But like in like a normal, hey, what are you doing?
you normally throw rocks at people when you greet them?
If they're way far away,
That makes no sense.
I mean, look, I feel like the way you're thinking of me throwing a rock and the way that I'm thinking of it are different. I took like a pebble, like a stone, like maybe
Uh-huh.
the size of a small golf ball. I went,
Okay.
"Whew," and tossed it. And you're thinking like I picked up a cinder block, tied it to a rope, and swung it around
Sorry, I wasn't imagining that we were throwing half of Yellowstone up at Adri.
Rachel thinks I'm actually throwing Little Rock. But a little rock.
Huh. Well, you guys have fun. Go kick rocks.
You want me to kick rocks? Deal. D-walk. Oh, well, never mind. That wasn't a very good roll.
You miss kicking the rock.
All right, now come on, Miss Adri. He didn't mean anything by it. We know his bedside manner is not.
Why are you guys here so early?
I don't know. If you can answer that question, then you're way ahead of me. We're running on Kavia Standard Time, apparently.
There's a lot of things happening in this town. We don't know how many times we're going to get interrupted by a gangland attack in the middle of the street. So it's a good idea to be places early, especially when a person is in prison and about to be executed. Seems like maybe a little early is better than a little late.
All right, I'll be down in a minute. I believe you guys are interrupting my breakfast.
There's a man who's been in prison for
I'm already
days
inside.
who's about to be...
I go in the house and shut the door.
I'm going to look at the horse and be like, this is nice chili making material right here.
As you walk through the house, like, where are you going?
Is this Victor?
Yes.
Shouldn't you be in school?
Should be.
Go to school.
More about life outside of school than I do inside of school.
Oh, whatever, you nerd.
Dad didn't learn shit from school. He is a traveling bard.
Are you going to be a traveling bard?
Oh, hell no, I can't play
With
shit.
that, with your face and your horrible stunted ears?
Wow, solid burn, Rachel.
When I found out where you hid that stinky shit in my room,
I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah.
Your room just stinks because you're a teenage boy. It's
He just
just
looks
your
at-
natural odor.
You hit a dump rock in his room.
He's like,
That's
it's on.
Okay. Well, I have to go do actual important stuff. So you have fun. I don't know, whatever the D&D equivalent of playing Xbox all day is. Bye.
Fucking opening portals and shit to other worlds.
Literal shit.
I'm gonna start finding like weird ass shit. I'm gonna find some demon shit and put it in your room. Give me a second.
Demon
I'll find a portal to the abyss. Hold on.
tiefling shit.
All right. I'm going to get my stuff. I'm going to get another coffee and like a blueberry muffin and then come out and meet them.
You know, I'm gonna call Cousin Varys to see what he says about you.
They're on tour. They're not going to talk to you.
Raz always talks to me.
Well, he talks to like everything.
Not everybody.
Yeah,
I hear they got-
everything.
I hear they got a new manager.
Well, considering they didn't have a manager before, then it's good that they have one now.
Do you blame them? With Leslie's coke habit, dude. No one would sign them.
I do imagine they have a ringtone on like a messenger rock or whatever. Hi, it's me. Pick up.
See? The Raz will talk. He grabs the messenger.
Sup,
pull up,
Razzie
someone starts
baby?
walking.
I'm leaving.
Adrian's being a punk.
Oh my god, what a bitch. Is she still mad about me throwing a rock at her?
I think she's mad at somebody else for throwing a rock this time, but I'm not sure why. As you're walking out, he's trying to transmutate your coffee into something else.
Pick out one of the blueberries from my muffin and just throw it at him.
It hits him.
Good. Leave.
Magic.
Solid character development.
Should have transmuted it into a rock.
I should have. Should have turned it into a rock. Since we're throwing
So-
rocks now. All right.
Man, I'll post a catapult spell in a second. Just watch. We'll really throw some shit.
I'm just putting it out there that pebbles and stones and rocks are like the email, text, and Facebook Messenger of this era.
I'm gonna start running high on pebbles and throwing them at people. All right.
I'm just. This is how you get a hold of people. You know, from a distance.
Right.
You guys are heading off to prison.
Yes.
It's a mild morning ride in a buggy as you guys head down the main drags of Waterdeep, listening to the sounds of the city as the things go on. As you guys continue to ride through in the morning, you see a young tiefling urchin begging for nibs as you guys ride your buggy by.
You say nibs?
Yes, coin.
Oh, I thought. It's like my starless is all out of nibs, my lord.
Like, well, do your aunt with charcoal.
Is it anyone I recognize?
You've seen the young child around town before. This urchin isn't new to the streets.
There's A urchin, B urchin, and C urchin.
This is not Squiggly, the tiefling child from the night before, though. This is not
Okay,
him.
all right. It's not this. Yeah, okay. I'll toss some 10 copper.
May Lethander bless you, my lord. He grabs him quickly.
Same to you, child. Same to you.
Bring back the largest goose in town.
He just smiles brightly at you with his fangs and his yellow eyes. Scurries off.
Yeah, I've seen other politicians look scarier.
So as you guys reach down to the prison, you see a couple of the guards on the outside. It's not really a large building. It's kind of it's more of their, it's not like the main city watch prisoner station. It's more kind of like a set of holding cells with a small barracks for the guards in the area in the docks, just for, going and out if they got to stay, if, whatnot. A place where the citizens can find them if they, they can't find them out patrolling. So as you guys approach, there's a few citizens around. There's the city watch on the outside. You see this odd fellow, though, kind of sitting on the bench outside, all black. He has this kind of mask on, almost like it's a plague mask.
Is the executioner?
No. I don't know if Kavir would know him, but Trichet may know him. He is a doctor of sorts in the area. He deals more with the dead, more of a kind of a mortician doctor.
Mortician doctor. Seems like those two things are out of order.
Yeah. A medically trained mortician.
Okay.
So, but he is referred to as Dr. Midnight in circles.
Doctor?
Looks up. Morning.
Shake his hand.
He reaches out, she goes, Dr. Midnight is pleased to see you fellows here today.
Who is Dr. Midnight?
Dr. Midnight is I, and I am Dr. Midnight.
Oh, so you could have just said I.
The sun could have just shined.
It did.
The wind could have just blew, but it did not.
I could have slept in till 9 a.m.
Ah, Mr. Trichet.
How are you, doctor?
I'm fine this morning. How are you?
Well, other than being up a little earlier than usual, not too bad. What brings you around these parts?
Oh, I heard there was an execution in place, and Dr. Midnight is here to acquire the body after the execution, or at least get the rights to.
I see.
To see if the prisoner will sign off and take a money to the family to cover the body. For science, of course.
For science, of course. Oh, well, all right. I suppose we're actually here to meet with said prisoner ourselves. Yeah, so perhaps we better get a crack on that before you do.
That'd be wise. But alas, yeah, they said he had a meeting before meeting Dr. Midnight, so I shall wait.
All right.
Does your mask do anything, or is it just like a fashion statement?
He looks down at you. Looks kind of, you don't, as he looks you up and down, the beak moves up and down.
I'm just
He
wondering.
adjusts-
Hi,
he
I'm
adjusts the
Adri.
lens.
Nice to meet you.
Dr. Midnight sees a young happy elfling with these two gentlemen.
Uh-huh.
The mask is efficient. When you work with the dead, you really do not want to smell what the dead are cooking.
Oh, so it has like a filtration system?
Herbs, spices, certain flowers in the mask.
11 of them. It's the crispiest of all smells.
The colonel does not know what the doctor is cooking.
You slather the inside with Georgia gold.
Let's see, if we didn't get up early, we wouldn't have got to meet this gentleman.
Yes.
Who narrates his own existence.
Dr. Midnight is pleased to see that you enjoy that.
Okay. Kavir the Raven is going to go inside.
See? A fan of Dr. Midnight's already.
Yeah, we'll go with that, Doctor. If you'll excuse us, we're going to go in.
Every
He says-
version of Kavir has a hard time with Dr. Midnight. Every version of Dr. Midnight and every version of Kavir. But heads.
Yep.
Like, there's a weird thing about Kavir and Midnight. It's like they're both weirdos in hats and they don't like each other. Well, Dr. Midnight's never been anything but polite to me.
Yeah.
I have been nothing but snotty to him. I think in the last one I told him to what was it? Go cook an alligator or something like
Yeah,
that.
there was something. I mean, and all he was doing was leading you to the guys that jumped you.
I was like, why don't you go suck the butter off a crawdad? Get the fuck out of here.
As we're leaving, I'm gonna take out my journal and make a couple notes about a mask with some sort of filtration system inside of it.
But a selling point for the Patreons, there's a secret in the Patreon journal of Dr. Midnight that only the Patreons know. The
Yeah?
listeners do not.
He has a forked
Ooh.
penis. He uses it for spearfishing.
Oh, God.
It's like a snake tongue. It uses it to taste the air. You know?
Oh, God,
Aw.
fucking.
No, you think forked like split. I mean forked like 4 prongs.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
That's not a fork, that's an udder.
That's a what?
That's an udder.
No, they're spiny, made of metal and wood.
Oh,
On and off. Metal wood, metal wood.
wow.
Sorry, I derailed it again. Go ahead.
You should have seen my sporked wang. It's got a dip, and it comes up into 4 slight nubs. It comes wrapped in a plastic with a napkin.
And a little packet of salt and pepper.
Okay. So as we enter,
Mhm.
hold on, let me do it in a way that is Dr. Midnight approved. Kavir the Raven and his companions enter the room. They sprinkle
Such an-
themselves down with garlic butter and crawdad meat.
Sergeant Andrew looks up. Hey, you guys made it.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Been kind of quiet since that night.
Well, we're here to see the prisoner.
He gets up. Come on this way. He walks down the cells and
Kavir the Raven rides his crocodile down the hallway.
you see a couple others in the cells as well. And then he gets to the last one. And he pulls the key out of his pocket and hands it to you. You guys are capable of opening and closing the door yourselves and talking to him. If you guys want to get in there, you get in there. If you guys don't, you don't.
Okay.
I promised you to stay time alone, you guys, with him. So I'm going back up front.
Tricky, do you want to handle this?
Yeah, do we want to go inside or we want to stay outside?
I don't know. It's up to you. I'm gonna walk up to Tricky and Adri before they open the door. I'm gonna be like, if we were to be knocked unconscious, then he would be able to get away.
Would he?
Well, he'd have a better chance than, you know.
What are you suggesting exactly? You want to let this man free?
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of death. Unnecessary death. Death on a battlefield is one thing. Death to protect yourself is another. This feels I don't know. Senseless.
No, I'll be honest, I didn't expect that. But I don't necessarily disagree with your stance. I think maybe we play it by ear and we see how this goes.
Fair enough. How about you?
Okay.
You're not a tattle, are you?
No.
Somewhere in the back where Victor screams, "Yes!"
All right, Garcon, please take my crocodile and park it out front.
Yeah, I guess I don't I don't know. I guess based on what happened, maybe I wouldn't view Kresk as necessarily a threat. So going in to talk to him probably would be more, I guess, establishing a trustworthy bond. Maybe he would be more forthcoming with information and willing to answer our questions than if we, stand and just talk outside the door.
Also, anybody that, did he kill anybody? D-Walk?
In the past or during the mission?
During the mission.
Yes. You guys did find quite a few dead bodies, both sides in the places.
But both of them were gangland killings.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. It was gang
fighting.
war. Yeah.
So they were both part of the gang.
It wasn't.
They were
yeah.
doing.
You guys didn't find any innocent deaths per se. If that's what you're asking, you guys didn't find any commoners, citizens.
But he's
I want to
sentenced.
clarify.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say he's sentenced to death because he attacked a noble, right?
Yeah. He's sentenced to death for kidnapping and assaulting the noble.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they were in the process of about to get run over when we stumbled across them because they were barricading the room they were in, right? Did I know? Am I recalling that right? There was like commotion outside the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were about to deal with
Goblins.
well, there was a black ooze in that room
Oh, right.
that was coming through.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and I'll use the key to open the door.
Being killed because you punched a noble or something like that, or you attacked a noble, that's weird. Put him in prison for life, whatever. I'm even better with that. I still think that's harsh, but you punched my rich kid, so now you have to die. That seems silly.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you.
But then again, if we get found out, then they could put us to death.
Well, there is the whole aiding and abetting thing that we'd have to be, cognizant of.
But not if we were all knocked out.
True. That is true.
My guy is totally willing to break the rules all the time. Doesn't really fucking care. But I understand that you guys are attached to this. So.
Well, look at it this way. You knock me out, at least maybe I can make up some of that lost sleep I didn't get to partake in. So. I'm not
technically. The lowest it would be probably under hampering justice, which is a fine up to 200 gold, and hard labor up to a 10-day. Heavier is if they declare it a well.
We're all unconscious though. He just attacked us. We had no
Yeah,
idea.
but you guys are the ones that kicked his ass in the first place and put him down with others in the room. It's kind of hard to sell off that a prisoner with no weapons got the jump on 3 of you.
Yeah, but we beat him up, and then while we were questioning him, he got the jump on us. But why would we put him in prison only to free him? That doesn't make sense.
You are known for not enjoying the death penalty. And your character is known for not letting enemies die.
Well, maybe I can go talk to Anders why he knocks you guys out. Then it's doubly believable, right? Because I was the one who was so strong that I could defeat him. And when I wasn't there, he got the jump on you two weaklings. Also, I wasn't able to, I didn't have any part in his I'm beyond reproach.
We're going to have to talk about your ability to sell a plan here because, I mean, fundamentally it's not bad, but again, that horrible
You are
bedside
Raven, not the
manner of yours.
professional. Yeah, that's the
I'm a
other issue
meatball
here.
surgeon, man. I
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
reattach
thing is-
limbs.
You're,
Yeah.
you're the Raven now. You're not the professional.
No, but I mean, this is something I would do. I don't like death.
Yeah.
But that being said, my character in particular is not particularly good at being friendly to people.
Now,
He literally spent the last 20 years strapping arms back on people on a battlefield and like sawing legs off and
let me see.
digging out the portions of the eye that were left behind after the spear wound. It's like it's not exactly a bunch of guys going like, well, what we want to do is we want to have a less invasive surgical no, guys like chopping shit off of people.
Well, not only that, but you're not hanging around with people and making friends afterwards.
Yeah, moving on to the next guy to chop some shit off of him.
So I believe we were about to go into parliamentary procedure.
Yes. Okay, so to answer the question, doing a little research, yeah, I had to read this because of the last party where they kept getting into violent altercations. I ran through this, so I did have to try to figure out a backdoor way through the Waterdeep legal system. I just had to remind myself. Now, magistrates do set the law, and the magistrates normally do follow the code. You'd have to know them, and you normally get a noble or someone to ask them a favor to change something. But magistrates normally keep to the code as well as the guards and the city watch, or the city watch. They're not really the guards. Now, the true person that can actually not uproot the code, but kind of overwrite the city dictates is the masked lords of Waterdeep. The problem is they are rarely around when you need one, and to find one, you need to have someone really high or have somebody that knows really high to get a hold of a masked lord of Waterdeep.
Like somebody's life we might have saved the night before.
Yeah, the same one that got kidnapped.
Yeah.
The reason the guy is in jail.
Yeah, that's true, but I mean,
no, but yes, Rainier would know the masked lords. He would be the best contact for that.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want to lie to Rainier about why we're wanting to get in contact with someone and use him, because I know. What if Rainier?
What if
was
we played this guy as a? I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
The same amount of time for the other person to talk.
No, you go.
I was thinking, what if we talked to him and said that we could use this guy as an in to investigate further gang activity in the city?
To flip him as a source?
Yeah, not just flip him as a source, but also use him as a way to like offer us credence as like, hey, these are my new buddies. We've been doing crimes and junk. Look at my crime pals.
Gonna turn him into
let
Donnie
him in?
Brasco.
Hey, you know what? That movie's underrated.
I've done a
movie.
I know.
But yeah, like Donnie Brasco, or like a much shorter and much more put together The Departed.
That movie fucked me up at the end.
It's a good movie. Yeah.
Oh no, I love that movie. I'd love that movie, but dude, afterwards I literally sat there quiet for like a half hour, like just felt empty inside. But
it feels like 3.5 hours of look how much money we had to spend on casting.
Right?
It's like, hey, remember that guy that was real popular back in 1984? Yeah, we got him to do some lines.
Oh man, they kept coming out of the woodwork, but it was written so well and so on the edge of your seat. But at the end of it, you're kind of like, just like, it was like reading a great book and you're just kind of empty afterwards because it's over.
There was a remake of a Kurosawa movie, wasn't it? Internal Affairs.
I'm not sure.
I think so. I think it was a movie called Internal Affairs. It was about cops. Irrelevant. Sidetracked.
Yeah,
Rachel's taking notes saying this is not part of the game.
Oh, no, I was taking notes about something else.
Okay. Well, I think time's a factor. Is there any way we could put a stoppage on this? Glad we got here early.
Well, yeah, but to be fair, Sergeant Anders had already kind of delayed things for us a little bit to give us an opportunity to talk to him in the first place. So I think we may have already used that favor up.
Well, how about you ask him some questions? I'll go talk to Anders and say that we've got some information that'll help us. Maybe we can get this guy off of being murdered. just get him a jail sentence.
Yeah, I suppose that's worth a shot.
All right, you want to do your thing first, and then I'll go talk to Anders after.
Yeah, we can do that. So yeah, I'll take the key and I'll open up the cell and proceed to have a discussion with Kresk.
He rolls over, looks over at you. Oh, goody.
Yeah, you're not exactly who I wanted to be looking at this early in the morning either, but how are they treating you? You know, for being where you are.
Hot meal in the morning, hot meal in the evening.
Probably better than what you used to.
Granted, what I'm facing down the line.
Well, yeah, I'd imagine so.
But the meals are good up until then.
Well, that's something to look forward to, I suppose.
Way to keep it positive.
Yeah.
He shrugs. He's like,
the cup and my shit bucket are half empty.
what brings you in the, he looks past you. The one that calls the Griffin guard here.
Well,
You don't think I haven't forgot about that trick you pulled?
It was pretty good though, right?
He nods. Yeah.
Well, I think we were hoping to ask you a couple of questions, and I don't know. You kind of getting used to this whole 2 square meals a day sort of thing here. Maybe there's a way we can continue that for more than just another couple hours.
You got a noble in your pocket somewhere?
Well, you had a noble in your pocket for a while, and then I picked it, so you might say that.
Which kind of ended me up here.
Well,
Well,
I can be incredibly persuasive. You'd be surprised.
yeah, we heard that about you. We also heard you can't be bought, so probably why we never try to buy you.
Yes, that is correct. I am an expensive bitch. What can I say?
Nah. Xanathar never wanted to put the kind of coin in your pocket enough to turn you.
I wasn't going to have anything to do with him anyway, so. But let's talk about you.
My favorite subject.
So let's talk about exactly what led you to kidnap Rainier in the first place and get yourself in this whole kind of trouble. I'm curious to know exactly what the whole story is and what's going on. And we happen to run into a rather ghastly looking beast down there at the very end, and that's got me more than intrigued, I should say. So I think perhaps the more information you're willing to share with us, the more I might be able to help you.
When you mention the mind flayers, his eyes flash fear, like straight, like to the core for a second. And then he kind of regains his composure and sits back. What led up to the kidnapping? Well, probably was my shitty childhood. Started when my dad left when I was 12.
Okay, let's go a little bit forward when your dad went and left the house for cigarettes and then never came back. We a couple of years further. Let's move on. Time is of the essence here. Remember.
Well, I got arrested at 16 for
a little bit further. How about up until about 3-4 days ago? Let me put a time frame on it for you.
Hey, douchebag, is now really the best time to be being a sarcastic asshole to a bunch of people who are trying to get you out?
Well, you also kind of got me in, so I have to have a little fun here. I mean, as much as I appreciate you trying the odds here, let's face it, with the Xanathar tattoo, I've never seen anyone not get the death penalty for assaulting a noble. So I wish you luck, but I've never seen it. But
you ever heard of the phrase "there's a first time for everything," Mr. Kresk?
If you pull it off, I'll be forever in your debt.
Yes, you would. So
that too.
But so why'd we kidnap? Why'd we kidnap the old overlord's kid?
Money.
Yeah. You ever heard of the fortune his dad hid away?
I think everyone and their grandmother has heard about it. Sure.
Well, there's supposed to be an item involved in it. They didn't say what it was, but he's supposed to know where it's at. They were tracking someone
Someone.
above my pay grade. Xanathar didn't trust that much past. Oh, that he kind of swallows for a second. He kind of does the motion with his hands in front of his face like a mind flayer's tentacles. Him.
So this is someone who even has Xanathar a little bit scared.
Oh no, he works with Xanathar.
Oh, well, that's an interesting arrangement. So where does he figure into all of this?
That's above my pay grade. I run local streets. Always have.
So is he like a number 2 in this situation?
That
Yeah,
or half
it was a
orc.
sewer joke, son. You're
Yeah.
supposed to laugh.
He's like, that half fork had more of the picture than I did, and you guys butchered the shit out of him.
Well, I mean, yeah, true.
I mean, personally, if you knew a good cleric or necromancer, you might be able to get answers out of him.
Well, ain't that just a hell of a coincidence? Well, that's something we're going to file away. Miss Adrian, make sure you're taking notes back there. I know you are. Well,
He looks back. You ain't related to some bard, are you?
Several, actually.
He shrugs and just kind of like lets it go. Several. Damn.
My dad and my cousins.
Who's your dad?
Ludo.
He plays over at the yawning portal.
Yeah, he usually plays there.
Oh, goody.
What?
And your cousins?
Have you heard of the band Lichgate?
No.
Oh, yeah.
He leaves back.
I listen to techno.
apparently this man's been living under a rock for the last 40 years.
I got nothing left really to. It ain't like Xanthar's gonna kill me in prison. Said he wants to do that just fine.
Well, all right. So let me ask you something. How you say all these things are above your pay grade? You say that you don't know a whole lot, but could you find yourself in a position if you had a little bit of help on the back end to maybe get that information?
We'd have to make sure a few of the people between me and the next level disappear. So positions open for the taking.
Well, I think that's probably something that could be arranged.
Bodies not found would help, or make it look like the Black Network did it. Or you can, I guess you can get them arrested by the guard.
Well, I'd have my methods, you'd have yours, but I think we could probably get to the same conclusion either way.
Trading one life we're trying to save for multiple others
Yeah,
feels weird.
that does feel weird. I don't think I don't know if the Raven would go in for that.
You are dealing with a killer.
Well, I'm not necessarily saying that we end the life of the people that are above him. I'm just saying that if we were to get them arrested for crimes that do not lead towards the death
They
penalty.
have a Xanathar's tattoo. They're going to get killed.
Yeah.
Well, no. He's just saying with the fact that he kidnapped the noble and he has his Xanathar's tattoo, there's not many masked lords that probably will overturn it without someone asking for the favor.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that everyone that gets arrested from Xanathar's guild is not getting the death penalty.
No. Most of them just, end up with floggings and imprisonment for 10 days and damages up to 1,000 gold. Well, that's a normal assault charge.
The city flogger, Kenny Floggins.
Burglary is in prison for up to 3 months and damage is equal to the value of the stolen goods plus 500.
Well,
and if you actually murder a citizen, it's death or hard labor up to 10 years. And then you got to pay damages up to 1,000 gold to the victim's kin.
Well, I'd have to imagine I could talk with Kavir if we could find a way to make this work. Otherwise, it sounds like the only other option we have at this point is to take your friend and see if we can get any information out of him. As you said, if we knew a necromancer, I am a well-connected person.
Do we know where that half-orc's body is, though?
Well,
At
that's
this
a good
point, it's
point.
been several days.
No, it's only been.
Well, Dr. Midnight might know.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Dr. Midnight might. It's an off. It's probably a low probability chance.
Maybe you could use your toucan Sam-shaped nose mask to point us in the right direction.
Yeah, because otherwise, without utilizing Kresk as an informant to try and get information, I think he's given us everything he can give us.
Are we trying to get this guy out because he's useful, or are we just trying to get this guy out because he just hit a noble? That's not really justifying a murder. Because I'm not against lying.
Right. No,
We can say that he has some information that we think we could use.
I suppose I'm trying to kill two birds with one stone. Or
Yeah.
actually, I guess have my cake and eat it too would be the better reference.
But we don't know exactly what information he knows that would be valuable to us yet. Does that make sense? He might know something that doesn't seem applicable that later on would be.
That might. Yeah.
Let me talk to Anders real quick.
Yeah. Talk to Anders.
All right, you head back up front. Anders is at the desk.
Sergeant,
Hey, what's up, Raven?
we have reason to believe that this prisoner could be much more useful to the destruction of Xanther's guild if he was in our employ.
Thanks for listening to Freelance Heroism Plays Dragon Heist. If you would like to support us, please check out our Patreon. We're at patreon.com/freelance_heroism. We have different things there. Character journals, art, bloopers, stuff like that.
Our cast includes me as Dr. Kavir the Raven, Rachel as Adri the Highborn Artificer, Nate as Rain Trichet, Dockside Officiant, and of course, D-Walk as Dr. Midnight, and everybody else in the game. Thanks for listening to Freelance Heroism Plays Dragon Heist, and we don't invoice in this group. We'll be back next week with more episodes, so stay tuned.
I mean, sometimes... Hold on, there's a truck.
This is going to be a truck forever, Rachel. They've invented it. The ship has sailed. I'm sorry, I don't record podcasts while there are trucks.
Yeah, I don't. I'm sorry. What was I saying? What is... There's a flock of Canadian geese going over my house now. And
Yeah?
they're all yelling about it.
Hey, Rachel! You want to come fly in a V with us?
Okay.
Okay. Right on.
What was I saying?
You said there's a truck.
What was I saying before that?
I don't know. I got hung up on truck.
Okay.